What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about my Shimano Deore M5120 Derailleur and the mistake I made when not checking it out before I started riding. Alright guys, so here you see my derailleur. It's a Shimano Deore M5120 on my 2021 Trek Marlin 7. I picked it up from the shop, and you guys saw my last video where I was having some problems. As you can see, the dork disc is no longer behind here. It's all cut off. You guys saw me cut it off last time. But I did mention that I had lost the chain. The chain had fallen off once, and that I was skipping gears here and there. And luckily, Linwald Ryan Cox had commented almost immediately after I put that up. Thank you so much, man. You said, check the switch on there. You got to flip it up so that you lock it. And I actually didn't know what that was. I'm pretty new to biking, so I mean, obviously with the Marlin 7, you know, I'm getting into mountain biking. You know, this isn't the most expensive bike, but right now is the way it came when I picked it up. So you guys can actually see if I push on this, it actually pushes down pretty easily. And what was mentioned to me is that there's a switch on here. So I looked it up, and now when I look this up, even though it's just labeled as a Shimano Deore M5120 on the Trek page, I found that it's actually labeled as a M5120 Shadow RD Plus on the Shimano page. And you need to go to the Shimano page to kind of get all the details on this derailleur. It doesn't come in the documentation with the bike. Don't pay attention how dirty it is. I actually put probably 25 to 30 miles on it this past weekend. Just putting some miles on it, getting used to the bike. Nothing crazy, pretty flat, but all dirt trails. So I had a lot of fun. Before I went out, I did do this. So right here, you see this little switch, and it goes up, and right now it's loose. So all you have to do is flip this up and push it back. And sometimes it's referred to as a clutch. In the documentation I found, they just call it the lever switch. So I found a user manual and a dealer's manual. So in the user manual, it basically says when you need to take the tire off, you know, when you're taking the whole thing off, basically you flip it down, and then you can take off the tire. And that's really what you need to know for the user manual. In there, it also specifically says to flip it to the on position here when you're riding to reduce chain slap and prevent chain from falling off. Well, isn't that interesting? I had a problem with the chain falling off, and it was not in the correct position. So, like I said before, when it was down, you could see how easily I can move it. Now when I push on it, hopefully you guys can kind of see the pressure. The bike's moving a lot more, and it's much harder for me to press down. So this is definitely a much stiffer derailleur. It still shifts great. The shifting didn't change at all for me as far as having to put pressure on the switch or anything like that. The only other comment I have is that in the dealer's manual that I found, it says you got to flip it down to do any kind of maintenance when you install the derailleur or when you're doing adjustments. So that's why you would flip it off. Otherwise, when you're riding it, it stays on in this position. Again, Linwald Ryan Cox, thank you so much for the comment. Helped me out a lot. I mean, it's one of those things that I probably should have known, but I had no idea that this derailleur had that. And since I flipped it on, like you suggested, I've had no problems. Feels like a different bike. I mean, I love this thing. This bike is amazing. So I hope that this video helps out some other people in case they're having the same issue. But guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers up to this point. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and I got a lot more videos coming soon. All right, guys, talk to you soon.